14 years old, and I'm excited to just say what I'm passionate about.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what you're passionate about. Um, okay, so we're gonna jump into maybe two or three softball openers. Um, One, what is your favorite activity to do right now outside of school or work?
Outside of school or work, definitely softball.
How long have you been playing for?
I've been playing since I was in fifth grade, and right now I'm in ninth.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh my goodness. Um, Thank you for sharing.
of
um,
course.
what qualities of yourself are you most proud of?
I'm really proud of my leadership abilities. I feel like whenever joining clubs or walking to a room, when I'm asked to share my opinion, I'm definitely good at it. I'm very creative and I love to shout my ideas out when it comes to group decisions.
Yeah, awesome. Those are great qualities to have. Um, okay. And how would your best friend describe you?
Oh, I definitely think my best friend would describe me as funny. Our relationship is like super, super humorous.
That's so nice. Oh my gosh, I'm glad. um, okay, so we're gonna move to our next section. Um, what is an accomplishment, personal project, or extracurricular activity you are proud of working on?
Working on definitely Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts has opened my eyes to a lot, and I've had
Yeah.
so much fun with all my sisters.
Aw. Um,
Yes.
how long have you been in Girl Scouts?
I've been in Girl Scouts since kinder, so I'm pretty sure that's 10 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Can you tell me about one of your favorite memories?
One of my favorite memories was definitely last year's holiday party. We had got together, done White Elephant, and just kind of celebrated each other and all we've accomplished. So it was really fun.
Yeah, that's lovely. I love that.
Yes.
Okay. What tips would you give someone trying to do something similar? So maybe someone who's just starting out in Girl Scouts or someone who wants to join Girl Scouts. What tips would you give?
Definitely to be yourself. Like I mentioned before, I am a really big creative. I love to give ideas because I usually have ideas when working in group projects. If you have something to say, definitely share it because I'm pretty sure a lot of people will like your idea. And in like awkward settings, it's like just make other people feel comfortable, and they'll most likely make you feel comfortable too when coming in.
Yeah, that's great advice. Thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
Okay, moving on to our next question. What does education mean to you?
Education means a lot to me. I've actually always prioritized like school and schoolwork. I feel like the teachings are so important. They actually do come up in real life more than we think. Because a lot of times I hear students like make that complaint that school like doesn't even matter in real life, but I feel like it really does. It's a great asset, and I've always, like I said, I've always prioritized it. I've actually always had straight A's since sixth grade.
Yeah, wow. So clearly, education has been like a huge part of your life, and it's made a big
Yeah,
impact on you.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big part of that is because my mother, she went to UCLA and she's an assistant principal right now. And
Um,
she has always like enforced that onto me that school needs to be my number one priority.
yeah, it's awesome that you have someone you love pushing you.
Yeah,
Um, and it must be nice to have her as part of your support system.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What's a topic, subject, or skill that you think should be taught in schools? And it doesn't have to be a topic that already exists, like math or whatnot. Just something that you think that's important that should be taught in schools.
All right. So I do, like I mentioned before, my passion throughout Girl Scouts. Um, I've learned a lot about our. I feel like the population who's a lot less fortunate, doing community service projects and helping others. And I feel like it's kind of already taught in right now I'm taking ethnic studies where we learn about minorities, like for example, LGBTQ people, African Americans, and like other people of color who aren't or females who aren't really kind of like prioritized in our society. So I feel like more of the stuff that's not normally taught in the like the real world issues that we need to dig into. And although ethnic studies does teach about a few of those, one I really would like for our schools to dig into is our kind of population that's not so fortunate, like kind of poor ones.
Yeah, okay. I think that it's a great suggestion. We benefit from getting more information about different walks of life, and I think for a lot of people, sometimes the one and only way that they're able to do that is through school. Like they haven't gotten the opportunity to like spend time in those communities. So having those stories documented and like taught in the classroom is really important. So I agree with you. Um, awesome. Okay. Tell me about someone who has left an impact on you and why.
Mm, definitely my mother. Um, I live with my mom most of the time. I go to my dad's house every other weekend. So my mom is really my best friend. I spend half my time with her. And seeing like how I'm an only child and she's a single mother. So seeing her strength and how she's able to like raise me and still thrive is really inspiring. And I'd love to have that strength when I'm older
Yeah,
or right now.
that's lovely, and I think it's so nice that you have such a close relationship with your mom. And I think like especially when you have a role model that's in the home, like that's there cheering you on, it just makes all your goals seem that much more attainable. So I'm really
Yes.
grateful that you have her.
Thank
Um, that's awesome. Okay, so we're gonna move to our next section. Um, is there a cause or social issue that you're passionate about, and why is it important to you?
Yes, I feel like the less fortunate are people who we should kind of pay more attention to and advocate for because I feel like their resources are extremely limited and living in that person's shoes can be like super, super tough. And working with them throughout the years, like I've mentioned, I've been a Girl Scout since kinder, and a big portion of Girl Scouts is doing community service projects and going up to their homes and where they live and like giving them food and stuff like kind of being able to see it in real life and what they go through isn't really easy to look at. And
Yeah,
I feel like they have a harsher reality that we should probably shine more light on.
totally. Um, I think that's true and very vulnerable because it isn't always easy to like be in those situations and see people who are in pain and who are suffering. But I think that it's a truth and a reality that like all of us need to be made aware of so we can do more to help. Um, so yeah, that's true. What advice would you give to someone who wants to make a positive impact in their community?
For my peers, I can definitely understand how in our day and age it might be kind of seen as something embarrassing or like you might be a little too shy to do it because of your fear of judgment. But it's really not. Like I feel like more people would be applauding you than judging you, and
Yeah,
definitely just go for it. If you have a passion for it, there's no reason why you should be holding back.
I think that's beautiful advice. And I think that it's a great place to start for people your age. And it honestly applies to people my age too. So thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Um, okay, moving on to our next question. What is a challenge you have had to work through and how has it shaped you?
I feel like societal beauty standards, those were definitely enforced in my childhood. I grew up a little bigger than I was now, and I kind of was bullied a lot and wasn't treated the best. And I was kind of forced into changing. And it's something that I would like be in my head about all the time. So that was a huge like issue to overcome, but I'm definitely better now.
Yeah. Um, how would you say that it's shaped you as an adult? Like, or not even as an adult, as a 14-year-old. How would you say that that experience has impacted you?
It's most definitely made my skin thicker. Um, it showed me that people's opinions aren't really priority because even after losing weight and after changing, I'm still the same person that I am. Like maybe a little like stronger and prone to like judgment. But I feel like the only opinion that really matters is your own. And if you see yourself as beautiful, then outsiders and their voices shouldn't really matter.
Yeah, I think that's very true. Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
Um, what advice would you give to someone facing a similar challenge?
I definitely tell them that it's okay and that you don't need to change for anybody. I feel like beauty is definitely within, and what's on the outside is way different from what's on the inside. I feel like the only opinion that matters is your own, and that outsiders have no value.
Well said. Thank you for sharing. All right. What do you think is something about you that will get left out of standard applications? So, like, what's a question that you wish people would ask you for applications?
Definitely, like, my character. I liked how in the beginning of this interview you had asked me like personal questions to get to know me and how I am, because something that's like commonly like in standard applications, as you mentioned, is like, your academic status and your GPA. But I feel like people are so much more than that. Everybody's situations are different and you have no idea like what they're like going through. And I feel like your grade shouldn't define you. And if you look at a kid and then you look at their academics, you think, oh, this person isn't like, I guess you could say like someone you'd be interested in depending on the application. But I feel like characters, like, they should ask more about my character. Like, I'm a good person.
Yeah, very well said. I think that that is an opinion that a lot of people hold, and I think that the world would be a better place if we weren't judged by um, number values and more of like what
Yes.
makes up our character, because that
Yes.
often is like the biggest determinant of performance anyway. So yeah, so well said. Okay, we're at our last question. Um, what would you say to a student who will be doing their storyteller interview?
I definitely say be yourself. I came into this interview extremely nervous, but I'm leaving now. It's like way more comfortable and confident. It can be tough if you're having like issues with nervousness, but definitely be yourself, because that's, and like show your character. Like I said before, I like how this interview mentions character. Well, like kind of touches on character, because it's definitely some like the best part about a person, and I feel like that's what you should share.
Thank you so much. Hailey, it's been a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for coming to your Triple V Storyteller interview and sharing more about yourself. Um, I'm so excited to see where you go, and I hope that the rest of our Triple V fellows are able to learn a lot from you and your story. But thank you so much for coming and being vulnerable with me.
And thank you for your time.
Hey YouTube! If you enjoyed this person's story, don't forget to subscribe to hear from more inspiring youth. If you want to apply to the Storyteller Scholarship or get more involved in our organization, all you have to do is sign up at the link below. Thanks for watching!